Greetings to all students. Today we are going to discuss an important topic, and that is University Grants Commission, composition, functions and role. Today's discussion can be divided under following headings: Introduction, University Grants Commission historical background, University Grants Commission composition, then UGC functions, UGC role, UGC relationship with other institutions, evaluation and finally conclusion. According to the Constitution of India, the responsibility of coordinating higher education and determining its standards has been assigned to the central government. It has been the responsibility of the central government to establish coordination and uniformity in the level of higher education nationwide. The central government fulfills this responsibility through the University Grants Commission. The University Grants Commission is a statutory and autonomous body which has made significant contribution in the progress and coordination of university education in the country. Students, education plays important role in progress of any country. In particular, the availability of skilled and efficient human resource depends on quality higher education. In India, the importance of higher education has been taken seriously since the British rule. That is why the efforts were being made in India before independence for a proper institution in the field of higher education. In independent India, the University Grants Commission, which is a statutory body, plays important role in development and coordination of higher education. University Grants Commission historical background. The University Grants Commission of India has been formed on the model of the University Grants Committee of England. After the creation of the University Grants Committee in 1919 for coordination in the universities of England, the demand for the creation of a central agency started gaining momentum in India, which could control, coordinate and maintain uniform standards over the universities of India. In 1924, it was decided to establish the Inter-University Board, but it was not very effective. Later in 1945, a subcommittee formed on the recommendations of the Central Advisory Board of Education, while presenting its report on post-war education development in India, emphasized on the formation of a University Grants Committee. Student, as we see the establishment of this institution, we see that such demands were made in India after a University Grants Committee was formed in England for coordinating and controlling the universities in England. In 1924, such committee was established, but it was not effective. In 1945, when the World War II was over, then there were considerations regarding the development of university education in India, and after the suggestions, the University Grants Committee was supposed to be established in India. After independence, Radhakrishnan Commission was formed in 1948 to provide suggestions for the progress of university education in India. After considering the recommendations of this commission and various responses to those recommendations, it was decided to constitute a constitutional body to fulfill the responsibility of coordination of higher education, setting of standards and allocation of grants to these universities. Accordingly, in 1956, the University Grants Commission was established as a statutory institution by passing the University Grants Commission Act 1956 in the Indian Parliament. This act was amended in 1972. Similarly, in 1976, the 42nd constitutional amendment made education a subject of the concurrent list. These changes affected the University Grants Commission and made it a more empowered body. Students, as we consider the efforts after the independence in India, we see that Radhakrishnan Commission was formed to give the suggestions regarding the condition of higher education in India, and at that time Radhakrishnan had suggested setting up of 2 commissions, but after getting the responses which were negative to this, it was decided that there will be only one commission which will perform some important functions like allocating the fund to these universities, setting the standards and other things. Accordingly, in 1953, one interim University Grants Commission was set up, and in 1956 the University Grants Commission Act 1956 was passed. In this manner, the University Grants Commission as a statutory body came into existence. Subsequently, in 1972 some amendments were made. In 42nd constitutional amendment, the education was put in the concurrent list, and that increased the responsibility of the central government more, and some organizational change came into the University Grant Commissions, and it got more powers also. University Grants Commission composition. Thus, the Government of India first established an interim University Grants Commission in 1953, which was later given statutory form in 1956, and subsequently some amendments were made in its act in 1972. In the interim University Grants Commission formed in 1956, a chairman and 5 members were appointed, out of which 3 were non-official members and 1 representative each from the Ministry of Education and Finance. The University Grants Commission, statutorily constituted in 1956, had a chairman and 8 members, in which apart from the chairman, out of the 8 members, 3 were from among the vice chancellors, who were from among the central government officials, and 3 were from among the eminent educationists. Student, as we talked, there has been subsequent changes in the composition of this commission. We see that in initial commission which came into existence in 1956, there were one member chairman and 8 members, but the number was also changed, and in 1972 the Government of India made some amendments in the Commissions Act of 1956, according to which there were changes in the organizational structure of the commission. At present, the organizational structure of the commission is based on this amended act of 1972, which is as chairman 1, vice chairman 1, members 10. Thus, the University Grants Commission has a total of 12 members, including the chairman. In the commission, all the members including the chairman and the vice chairman are appointed by the central government. The tenure of the chairman is fixed for 5 years, and the tenure of the vice chairman and other members is fixed for 3 years. Students, finally we see that in present University Grants Commission there are 12 members, including chairman and 1 vice chairman. All the members of this commission are appointed by the central government, and that is very important thing. The tenure of the chairman is 5 years, whereas the tenure of all other members is 3 years. It has been provisioned in Article 5(2) of the Amendment Act 1972 that a person who is not an officer of the central government or any state government will be appointed chairman of the commission by the central government. Similarly, according to the provisions, 2 members will be appointed in the commission from among the working officers of the central government to represent that government. 4 members will be taken from those who are university teachers at the time of their appointment, and the remaining 4 members will be from among the persons possessing knowledge and experience of agriculture, commerce, industry, persons from engineering, law, medicine or any other learned field, from among the vice chancellors of the university or from among academicians with high academic achievements in the opinion of the central government. Students, if we see the present composition of this commission, we find that there are lots of variety in it, as we see that the chairman is appointed that person who is not holding any post either in central government or state government. 2 members are from government officers, and remaining 8 members comprise of 4 lecturers or professors in universities, and 4 persons of from learned field of engineering or agriculture or commerce, or from among vice chancellors and any persons of academic achievements. According to the amendment made in 1972, the posts of 4 members in the commission would be filled from among university teachers. This arrangement continues even today. It is noteworthy that there has been no division of the work of the commission among the members of the commission. Apart from the full time chairman and vice chairman, all the members only attend the meetings of the commission and collectively take decisions on the matters presented for consideration. Thus, it is clear that in the commission the chairman and vice chairman are full time, whereas the members are not full time. The chairman, vice chairman or the members are not appointed for more than 2 tenure of his services. Student, some important points regarding this commission is that only the chairman and the vice chairman are holding the post in a permanent nature, and all other members are together only to discuss the matter which is presented for considerations, and no member of the commission, including the chairman and vice chairman, can hold the post more than 2 tenures. University Grants Commission functions. With a view to develop and coordinate university education in India and to set standards of teaching, examination and research in universities, the main functions of the commission are: first, allocation and distribution of grants. The University Grants Commission can investigate the financial requirements of various universities in the country. The commission allocates and distributes grants for the maintenance and development of universities established under the acts of the central government. Student, the main aim of this commission is to coordinate and develop the higher education in Indian universities, and to fulfill this responsibility the commission does many important functions. In first of all, that is allocation and distribution of grants. Students, as you know, grant is very essential to run a university and carry out various activities. So, the prime responsibility of this commission becomes to identify the requirement of funds of the universities and accordingly distribute the funds. Second, grants to other universities. The commission can give appropriate grants from its funds to universities other than the central university for their development or for any specific program. The commission can also give grants to those other institutions which are recognized by the central government. Student, primarily the commission gives grant to the universities established under Central Government Act, but the commission can give grant to other universities also which are state universities or any other institutions which have been recognized by the central government. Third, to provide advice. The commission on demand advises the central government, state governments, universities and other bodies on a number of matters such as distribution of grants in aid to universities for general or specific purposes from the Consolidated Fund of India, setting up new universities, to give advice for the expansion of the programs of the university, etc. Even without asking, the commission can advise the universities to take necessary steps to improve the level of university education. Students, the commission can give advice on demand or without being asked regarding the upliftment of education or higher education in India. There are some important matters like giving funds to the universities from the Consolidated Fund of India, setting up new university or new education policy even. Fourth, advice to universities. This commission gives suggestions to any university to improve the level of higher education and also proposes a plan to implement its suggestions. On demand by any state government, this commission also provides advice for the establishment of a new university or expansion of the activities of an existing university. Fifth, to give reply. If any question, information or opinion by the central government or any state government or any university is referred to the commission, then the commission also does the work of giving a reply to the concerned authority. Students, if any question regarding quality of higher education is referred to the commission by either the central government or state government or universities, then this commission has been authorized to give the appropriate reply and suggestions regarding that. Sixth, compiling educational data. The main function of the commission is to collect the facts related to university education in India and abroad, and to make these facts available to the universities seeking information about the collected facts. Students, today is the age of globalization, where education has also become a matter of international importance. So, this commission collects the relevant data regarding the higher education from India and from abroad and distributes these data wherever they are required. Seventh, development of research and education. One of the main functions of the University Grants Commission is to conduct educational research and also development of education in the country. Student, apart from taking steps for development of the universities and distributing the funds to them, this commission also takes steps to promote the research and development activities in these universities. Eighth, inspection. The commission can inspect any university in the country with the consent of that university to get information about its academic, examination and research related progress. After such inspection, the commission also awards a special grade to that university. Students, the current age is age of competition, where every university has to prove its efficiency. To fulfill this purpose, the UGC has established an institution, that is NAAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, in 1994. This institution inspects any university on its request and it gives grade accordingly. Ninth, to stop grants. If any university fails to follow the suggestions given by the commission can stop its grant after issuing a notice to that university within the prescribed rules. Students, this commission gives grant, but interestingly, if the instructions given by it are not followed, it can stop the grant also. 10th, other functions. The commission provides assistance to the autonomous colleges in various fields through its regional offices. The commission runs academic staff colleges and organizes refresher courses in various subjects areas to maintain high standards of teaching in universities. To enhance the professional competence of teachers, the commission also organizes the National Eligibility Test, that is NET. Students, the commission not only gives grant to the universities established under Act of Central Government, but it also promotes the regional colleges also through its regional offices. And you know, the refresher courses are necessary to update the knowledge of the teachers in particular subject. So, UGC organizes some refresher courses in academic staff colleges, and it also conducts the test of National Eligibility Test, that is NET. University Grants Commission role. With reference to the works done by the University Grants Commission, its role in improving the level of higher education is as follows. First, maintenance and coordination of standards of higher education. The most important role of the University Grants Commission is to determine and coordinate the standards or level of higher education in the country. To fulfill this responsibility, the commission performs important functions such as restructuring the courses of the university, preparing panel of experts, establish centers of higher and specialized studies, running programs of special assistance in selected departments, providing assistance to encourage research, making changes in the examination system, getting university level books prepared by Indian experts, and developing library facilities, etc. Student, as you know, the education or especially the higher education is a very diversified field where examinations are taken, where the syllabuses are prepared and new methods of teaching are evolved. So, all these functions are taken up by the commission and it fulfills the main purpose of coordination and maintaining the standards of higher education in the country. Second, role in development of universities. The University Grants Commission plays an important role in the development of the universities by solving the managerial, administrative and financial problems faced by them and provides grants as per the need. Besides, the Commission has also encouraged the colleges by providing them proper assistance. Students, Commission takes it as its prime responsibility to develop not only the universities but also the colleges, and it provides proper suggestions and grants to face the any managerial or administration or financial problems regarding them. Third, role in faculty improvement. The Commission provides assistance to teachers studying in universities and colleges across the country for organizing seminars, discussions, summer workshops and refresher courses, etc. for educational development as per its prescribed parameters. The Commission has played an important role in the educational development of teachers by providing national scholarships, educational fellowships, travel grants and providing residential accommodation in the universities. Students, to improve the faculty competence in the country working in the university, the Commission has nature to provide support to all types of seminars, discussions, summer camps and in the form of the fellowships and all other facilities regarding them. Fourth, role in the interest of the students. The University Grants Commission implements many beneficial schemes for the students pursuing higher education. The Commission provides research scholarships, fellowships, etc. to students of higher education in all fields of arts, science and social sciences. The Commission also provides assistance for construction and development of canteens for the convenience of students with disabilities. The Commission plays important role in providing hostel facilities and development of sports venues for the students. Student, you are the important part of higher education system. So, the Commission takes care of all your requirement in regard to the higher education, such as providing fellowships and motivating you, providing physical amenities regarding the disabled students and providing hostel facilities for you. Fifth, role in development of institutions deemed to be the universities. The University Grants Commission gives grants not only for the operation and development of universities and colleges, but also for the operation and development of those institutions which have been declared equivalent to universities by the government. For example, Vanasthali Vidyapith in Rajasthan and the Institute of Science and Technology of Pilani are such institutions which have been declared deemed universities under section 3 of the University Grants Commission Act. The Commission plays the same role in their development as it plays in the development of other universities and colleges. Students, deemed universities are those institutions which have been ranked equivalent to universities according to the provisions of University Grants Commission Act 1956. And when any institution is declared deemed university, it becomes eligible for getting all types of support from the Commission, same as all other universities get it from the Commission. Sixth, cultural exchange and international collaboration. University Grants Commission provides its assistance in organizing joint seminars, trips, fellowships, etc. among different countries for exchange of knowledge related to higher education in the international field. To fulfill this objective, the Commission also maintains constant contact with the international organization UNESCO. The Commission is organizing cultural exchange programs with many countries such as Germany, Canada, Russia, Japan, France, etc. Students, in the age of globalization, the Commission is making all efforts to coordinate with other countries and other continents for cultural exchange and other activities such as sending the group of students to those countries and inviting students of those university to university in India and exchange cultural values. Seventh, role in development of correspondence courses and adult and continuing education. The University Grants Commission provides assistance for running correspondence courses in the country for the benefit of those students who are not able to continue their education in the university. Apart from this, the Commission also generously encourages and supports various programs of adult education and continuing education. Students, there is a large number of students who have not been able to continue their study due to the so many other reasons. The Commission provides the correspondence courses for such students. In the same manner, adult education and continuing education that is required for the persons who have left the education after a certain age and they can continue their education through this system is also provided by the commission. 8. Role in the development of education of scheduled castes and tribes. The commission provides various types of facilities to the students of scheduled caste and tribes across the country to continue their education. Students, this commission also gives lots of varied facilities to this scheduled caste and scheduled tribes also. 9th, role in development of higher education for women. The University Grants Commission takes special interest in the development of women's education in the country. For this, it provides all kinds of facilities, assistance and support necessary for women's education to university. Students, the women represent the half of the population of the world, and to address the interest of the women, the commission takes special measures in all universities. 10th, control over fake educational institutions. Due to universal access to higher education across the country, the number of unemployed has increased. As a result, fake institutions have become abundant in many states. In such a difficult situation, to protect the unemployed from fraud, the commission has started taking action against these fake educational institutions, and a cell has been created in the commission for this purpose. It is proposed to amend the University Grants Commission Act 1956 to provide more powers in this regard to the commission. Student, nowadays a new problem has arisen in the field of higher education, and that is fake universities. These universities exist only in papers and they charge huge amount of money from the students by fraud made with them. It becomes the responsibility of the commission to save students from these fake institutions, and in recent times the commission has raised many issues and taken steps like publishing a list of such fake institutions on website and all other matters. UGC relationship with other institutions. A. Relationship between UGC and Union Government. The University Grants Commission is a statutory body under an act made by the Parliament. According to the provisions of the act, all the members of the commission are appointed by the central government. According to provisions, the commission will be guided by the central government in policy matters related to higher education, and if there is any difference of opinion between the commission and the central government on any policy related matter, the decision of the central government will be final in that regard. The commission has to submit an annual report of its work performance to the central government at the end of every year. The expenditure incurred by the commission can be audited by the Comptroller and Auditor General. In fact, from the functioning of the commission, it seems that the commission works as an agency of the central government. Students, we see that the commission works as a arm or an agency of the central government, because all the members of the commission are appointed by the central government. The expenditure can be audited by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. In any policy matter, the final decision is taken by the central government. All these facts prove that this commission is in total control of the central government. B. Relationship between UGC and universities. Both the University Grant Commission and all the universities of the country are statutory institutions which have to work as partners in some common areas. For the development of higher education in the country, the University Grants Commission allocates and distributes the funds, while the universities receive those funds for the development and research of higher education. The commission is in such a directive and controlling position from where it gives policy related guidelines and guidance to the universities, but the commission does all this work only with prior information to the universities and with their consent. Thus, in practice, the position of the commission becomes directive, controlling and coordinating for the universities. Students, when we talk about the relations between the commission and all the universities in India, we see that both have been coming in the existence with proper acts, but if you see the position of the commission, we find that it is in the position to give guidelines and guidance to the universities. Actually, both are different, but they have to coordinate with each other in certain field, and that is higher education. But ultimately, we see that the University Grants Commission is in commanding position, whose main aim is to give the funds to the universities, and universities are in position to get that fund. That is why universities have to act with the consent of the University Grants Commission. On the other hand, we see that the principles or any instructions are accepted by the university only when these are passed in their syndicate. So, the relations between both of them are very complicated, and they are based on mutual cooperativeness and cooperation with them. Evaluation. The University Grants Commission is playing a very important and irrepressible role in the field of higher education in the country, but many critics are not satisfied with the role of the commission. The commission has been criticized on the following grounds. First, looking at the organizational structure of the commission, it becomes clear that teachers are more represented in it. Second, the statutory division of the work among the members of the commission has not been done on a rational basis. Third, the level of research in universities is falling because nowadays previous research work are being copied in the name of original research. The commission is not doing anything special in this matter. Fourth, the commission is not paying attention to socially useful and practical research. Students, there are some critics regarding the commission's working, and that are, if you see the organizational structure, you find that the more priority has been given to the teachers only. If you see the working pattern, we see that the work has been not divided on the rational matters, and third, you see that nowadays the quality of research is falling because the matters like plagiarism and copying the previous works is getting more and more prevalent. So, the commission is criticized for not taking any special action regarding that, and the commission is not paying attention to the socially useful practical research, it is also alleged. Fifth, all appointments in the commission are made by the central government, hence it has become an arm of the central government, and it is not possible for this commission to function as an autonomous body in practice. Sixth, the status of other members of the commission is not full time like that of chairman and vice chairman. The commission cannot function efficiently in the field of higher education by relying only on a full time chairman and a vice chairman. Seventh, other interests related to education are not adequately represented in this commission. And eighth, the commission has to work under the instructions of the central government in policy related matters, hence its autonomy is only a pretense. Student, it is alleged that when all the members of this commission are appointed by the central government, and the decisions which are taken in commission are also in a particular manner and taken by only the chairman and vice chairman, the critic says that this commission is only pretense to work as autonomous body, which is not true. And it is also alleged that the other interests related to education are not adequately represented in this commission. Finally, conclusion. The University Grants Commission has a central role in the field of higher education in India. It has become the central body working towards the upgradation, development and improvement of higher education. It is not only an arm of the Union Education Ministry, but is also a body that provides expert advice to it. Today, imagining higher education in India without the University Grants Commission is like imagining parliamentary governance without a cabinet. Certainly, the University Grants Commission is playing a very important and irreplaceable role in the field of higher education in the country. Student, we can say that in the field of higher education, the University Grants Commission is playing very important role, though there are some shortcomings regarding the composition and also the working of this commission, but by making appropriate changes in them, we can make this commission more effective and efficient in the field of higher education in India. Thank you.